Okay, so I'm just getting ready to put the arch metal plates behind the footing of it. Where the tube goes in there, I just got to get the plate underneath it attached. So I don't want to put any strain on the fiberglass, so I'm using the plates to make sure that it's nice and solid underneath. Stuck now. So I've got this, I've been using this flex thing for a while. I leave it here on the boat. It's got a 7/16 adapter with a magnet on it. Okay, so this is my plate. And I've got one more bolt to put on. Alright, so tomorrow when we bring up the arch, the footing for it is now firmly affixed, so I'm just going to go do the other side. Putting this in here. Okay, so I'm going to just put a bolt on. This. And then I'll go back up top, push those other ones through. They just spin for a bit until you get them going. Okay, so get me to mount it properly. Okay, wrapping up. Whew. I'll leave the light on. Okay, I'm getting cold, so I'm going to call it a day. Whew. I'm ready for tomorrow. Tomorrow I should be able to get a little bit of help, and I will be able to have my, we're going to pull the arch up and then set it in place, and then hopefully I can get the front in and then the back just loose, but like with a couple of bolts to hold it in place. Basically the plan tomorrow is set it and then get my thing in place, and then hopefully I did my measurements properly and that it fits and I don't have to alter anything. Got her all packed up. It's just, I'm too cold. You know, it's like, even though there's a little bit of sun, it was warmed it up, I think, to +4 or +3 today. It's still, the ground's cold, frozen, so everything's still cold. Anyways, glad to be making progress though. Moderately prepared. Just going to, I taped on some carpets, and I think the plan is basically just to slide it up the ladder, as you can see here, and then we'll put a rope on each side, and the two of us up in the top will pull it up and go up the ladder, And then we'll just grab the side pieces here and then just turn it into place, and hopefully we can manhandle it up at the top. It's going to be a little bit awkward, but we'll figure it out. Everything been built?
Howdy.
Howdy. Well, we got it up, and we kind of discovered that my bend here was not quite in the right spot. This is the one thing I was questioning. So this is perfect. I could pull that down.
I got that one.
Yeah.
Yep. I would go ahead and mount that, and I'd mount that, and then I would.
Yeah. So what we're thinking is that I'm over about maybe 2 inches too much. So I just need to bend that back a little bit, and then I'll mount a bar on it below, and then I'll pull it and clamp it against the top part just to see if I can pull that back like 2 inches. And then if it's 2 inches over, I'll definitely be able to mount that. I can see my little mark here. That's actually where I wanted to be, so I'm off by like 2 inches. So I'm definitely underneath, so it's going to be fine.
Just gonna cut some of that off.
Yeah, this one here mounts here.
Okay, gotcha.
Access, there we go. To the screws. So this is starboard side. I don't like these too tight. There is, I just want to bring it back about this far. So when I did my bend, I did draw some crossing lines, but I think that when I heated it, some parts moved just slightly. So anyways, I didn't bend it right. I got to bring it back 2 inches. So that's my goal here. Whew. Okay, let's see if we can get some leverage on this thing. It's pretty tough. My line is here, and I'm pulling it a little bit to the right here. You know, it's going to fit anyways, as long as I get it over back here. So I got to go about another half an inch. Sorry, about another inch and a half. So I've moved it in half. I got to go a little bit more. Maybe I could put something in the top of it to give myself some more leverage. To work the clamps, and I was able to bring it back far enough. So I just mechanical leverage, just kept working it, and I've got it back I pulled it back 3 inches at least. So now when I let go, I'm pretty positive that it's going to spring back a little bit. Perfect. So with that spring back, I'm definitely over where my mark was. That's where I wanted to be. So basically I just made this bend here a bit too much, I think is what happened. And then I just used a pole-to-pole lever. This pole has got double thickness of this one, so this one won't bend it's pretty damn solid. So I'm just going to loosen these off here now, and then do this one. Just to give you an idea, it's real dark in here, but this is how far back those screws are. And socket's not long enough. Alright, so I need a long socket, 7/16. Hello, temperature's dropping. It's getting cold. It's going to snow tomorrow, so I got to get my cover back on. And I used to have the bar going across, but now I've got this whole thing, so I don't even know if it's going to reach or close. So I'm just going to try to put this on now. I can't believe it was snowing this morning. It's April something. 1st of April, 2nd of April, but no, 3rd of April today. Anyways, that's when I'm going up. Looks a lot different now with that arch thing up there. Just to give you kind of a recap here of what I'm doing. I'm basically going through each one of these drill bits. These are cobalt bits because of the stainless steel. 1, 2. I'm just giving myself a little bit of lube to assist with the drill bits. I've already used my my tap, and I just punched a hole or a little dent. So okay, so now that the first one is through, now I'm just going to go through each one of these. I find the first one takes the longest, that 1/16th, just to drill a hole. I've actually broken one of the bits too. I need to get another one. Okay, back in. Okay, so this is the tap now. I use my bicycle lube for it. Alright. There you go. That is how I secure this bar to here. So I'm going to do another tap on this side so that I have 2 taps per pole, and that should be, I think, adequate. Just to close off the arch video, I'm finally done. Well, actually I'm not done yet, but basically I've got a connection point in each leg now. It took me about 2 hours to do that. 3 actually. It was compounded by my ignorance of forgetting where to put my screws, and I left them up at my warehouse or my workshop, so I ended up having to make an extra trip down here. So I went back and forth just to get my screws, these ones. But anyways, it did go okay. All the tapping went well. Just go slow with the tapping when you're drilling out stainless, and you need cobalt bits for that. And yeah, so what I found, actually, when I measured from here to here, basically from the deck to the post, right at the cleat on both sides, this side here was a 1/4 inch lower than the other side. And I knew it was going to be a little bit off because when I cut this end piece, I didn't go straight. So the difference was actually that. So this little gap here on this one was the difference between the two to get them square. So I basically cut that one on a little bit of a different angle at the bottom. But the fronts are the same. Fronts turned out really good. And the rears were originally here. So these were my original footings. Actually this one too. But this one here was a completely, this was only a 1 inch. And now I've got an 1.5 inches in here for the arch. And I've been wanting to do this for a while. So up here on the Dodger, so I'm going to put these in right here, and it's going to give me an extra support, I think, for my Dodger. And the other thing that it's going to do is it's going to give me something that I can hook and then hang up my ropes. So I'm going to put little S hooks on them, and then be able to take my coil up of rope and hang it up here. That on both sides. So like I have my main sheet, not my main sheet, but my main halyard and my spinnaker halyard. I didn't put the reefing points in yet. The Traveler, I kept it really short because I just need to just move it around just a little bit. Having another bar up here is really going to make it tidy up here, because my one complaint about my ropes, and now that I brought them back into the cockpit, is that they were just kind of all jumbled and coiled here, and sometimes they got a little tangled up. And then the second thing is that water sometimes would get in, and then so they got a bit moist and they would leave marks and stuff, and then the mosquitoes would get in there. So I'm going to keep them hanging so they don't get wet, and then I think that I'll get rid of my mosquito problem. So, and the Dodger's not going to last forever. It's actually original Dodger from the, it's got to be 30 years old, but it's a very good material. And then the previous owner, he took it off. He didn't want it, so he took off all the hardware, everything. And I was fortunate that he actually still remembered that he had it. So I took it out, put it on, and everything still fit. And I was like, perfect. It was in good shape too because it hadn't been used for years. So I'm getting lucky from that one. But anyways, that's just going to sign off. Solar arch is up, and I think one other thing I wanted to do was to put an enclosure on the back here. So I'm going to have to look at that now and see how to do that with the arch back there, because my bimini is inside the arch, so I don't know how to do that exactly. Thanks for watching and subscribing. Appreciate your comments, your thumbs up. Just remember this, I'm just documenting the journey of the steps I'm taking. I'm not an expert in any of this. But I wanted to remember what I did along the way as I restored this 1975 Hughes 35-1500 sailboat. Cheers. So these go and feed directly off the battery system. So these are all in series, and they basically come out here with two cables to get 48 volts. And then what happens is that I take a lead off them and I put them into this. This was a sleeve.